The highly anticipated first practice session of the season took place in near perfect conditions in Melbourne. Ferrari's Fernando Alonso was the first man out on track, and it didn't take long for the first shock of the session and the season to happen.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton has stopped out on track. Now this is very strange. Mercedes coming into this with the best reliability record of all the teams.
Halfway through first practice, and Alonso was fastest ahead of Rosberg, before three-time winner in Melbourne Jenson Button beat the Ferrari man's time by nearly quarter of a second. And with the session coming to a close, rookies Kevin Magnussen and Daniel Kvyat struggled to get to grips with turn one.
So the rookies are finding turn one, while as we've seen in the past, it's very easy to make a mistake here at Albert Park into that corner.
Late afternoon in Melbourne, and the scene was set for second practice, with Lewis Hamilton looking relaxed despite missing the whole of the morning session. With Nico Rosberg setting the early pace, a number of drivers tried to beat the Mercedes man's time. And as Vettel continued to push, the world champion had a noticeable moment at turn one.
Okay, Sebastian, you probably know that, but you had your outside wheels on the grass in turn one.
So it was down to Hamilton, who had the bit between his teeth as he looked to make up for lost time.
And he goes fastest, 1 minute 29.625.
The session ended with trips to the gravel for Force India's Nico Hülkenberg, and to cap a terrible day, the Lotus of Grosjean.
We've got another one there as well. That's one of the Lotuses is off.
Romain Grosjean going off the circuit.
So it was a tale of two sessions for Hamilton, who was over a tenth of a second ahead of teammate Rosberg, with Alonso third, Vettel fourth, and Button fifth.
Hey there guys, Aarava here, and today bringing my F1 2014 100% race ultra modded career mode. And here we go with episode 1 from the Australian Grand Prix. You've just seen the story of what happened in practice and also the mods installed for this ultra modded career mode at the beginning and some of the rules of this whole series. So here we are in the garage revving up for the grid. We're starting from 22nd place in this series at the back of the grid, and it's going to be very interesting with the realistic damage mod and also the AI mod installed to try and make our way up into the points paying positions. It's going to be very tough. We've gone aggressive on this setup, and I'm very confident in trying to do well in this series. Australia, not one of my favourite tracks, I must be honest, but we'll see how it goes. And going through this setup now, and also as you'll see there on the screen, a very new skin install for the Red Bull. It's actually based off the V8 supercar Red Bull team, that race in Australia, and so we got that installed for this Australian Grand Prix. I thought it'd go kind of native with the skin, so a very nice skin. I'll put a link in the description if I can find it again to this skin mod, so you can maybe look at it and maybe install it. I think it really is a nicely made mod for the skin here for the V8 supercar style for the Red Bull racing car. So that's what we got going on there. And looking at our pit strategy, looks like we're going to go for an option prime option. I think the game wanted us to go option prime, but I think it's best to get the prime tire out of the way on this game in general, because the prime tire can actually be very slow depending on how the AI pace themselves on their option tires. If you're on the different tire, on the slower tire, it can be very, you know, hindering to your race. So we're going to go option prime option for the race. But here we go onto the grid. Very excited to do 19 races, 100% race. So here we go onto this new series, and hopefully a very action-packed new series. There's a new era in Formula 1 last year, and here we go onto this new series of F1 2014.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be one to criticise. I want to cheer.
Be optimistic.
To live in wonder.
Technology has brought us closer together. It's made the earth smile.
Cultures, creeds and nations united in a singular passion.
Formula 1.
Formula 1.
Formula 1.
A sport that celebrates science.
Celebrates progress. We have travelled to all corners of this world.
And seen images of men who have strived for the best.
Pioneers.
They aimed higher, went faster,
and pushed their bodies and our imaginations.
Regardless of the cost.
Regardless of the danger. Men who were not content to watch history,
but fought to mark it.
Men who said,
I am here.
It's been said that we lost our way.
We got lost in speed.
Consumed by numbers.
Distracted.
We forgot that success can be measured in many ways.
Success is not only trophies and records.
We forgot what it is to be surprised.
What it is to be inspired. It was a procession.
It was a procession.
It was a procession.
Not a race.
But do not despair.
A new era is upon us.
Changes have been made,
And with them, opportunity presents itself.
Opportunity for new life to flow through the veins of this sport. Opportunity to create.
opportunity to take risks,
Do not fear the unknown, embrace it.
The rush of uncertainty.
the joy of excitement.
Today we will remember what it is to be in awe.
Today we rise to the challenge.
Today we start again.
We start again.
We start again.
It's a new era of Formula 1, and it's a very new series on this channel now for the F1 2014 game. Ultra Mod Career Mode is back from F1 2013, and we're here for the new one. Here in the Red Bull racing car, starting from 22nd place. Here we go to 5 red lights for the first episode of the Ultra Mod Career Mode, and we're off for the first time for a 100% race around Australia. Getting an okay start, trying to overtake the Caterham of Ericsson on the left there, and now looking ahead to Chilton and Bianchi up front in the Marussias, taking very cautiously. Ericsson actually jumps up on the left, going very cautiously with the realistic damage mod installed, but so far we've only overtaken Grosjean now up into 21st place. Now I'm going to try and look down the insides on these cars. Both Marussias going very close. Chilton squeezing his teammate there. Suttil trying to make some places up on Kobayashi. Perez also trying to cut the grass a tiny bit there with Gutierrez on his left, and now we've been penned in a tiny bit by Kobayashi and Suttil. Going to go round the outside of Kobayashi. Remember, he's got lower downforce. He's in that horrible Caterham there, but we're also trying to make our way up the grid further ahead of Suttil, but he's sort of blocking the way almost, really in the way there, but we just about get it down the inside of him. And now Maldonado going very slow. Looks like he's been squeezed out. I think that was by maybe Perez up ahead, and now he's fallen down to 15th place. We're in 16th. We're trying to get him. Can we get him down the inside of this corner? Yes, we will. He brakes very, very early indeed. That Lotus obviously lacking in downforce as well, so we've been able to get him, and so we're up to 15th place now by halfway through lap 1. This is great progress at the moment in this Red Bull. Remember, the Red Bull, not one of the fastest cars in a straight line, but in the corners can really gain on the AI here, and that just proves it right there as we get on the back of Gutierrez very easily around the outside of that Sauber, as we got an amazing exit from that chicane on that second sector. So now up to 14th place behind Sergio Perez in his Force India. He may be a bit harder to overtake with that Mercedes engine, but let's see into the first corner now. Looks like Kvyat's fallen down to 13th place in front of us, so now we're going to try and get him in the sister Red Bull team of the Toro Rosso. Can we get him round the left-hand side of him, around the outside of this next corner, hairpin style corner, and we have got him. Kvyat going very slowly on the apex there, so now we're up into 13th place, chasing down Perez now. Looks like he's chasing down Verne, so now we're right on the back of him. Looks like Perez is actually making a move ahead on Jean-Eric Verne, so this can be very interesting. Verne going very slowly into the chicane now, so because of that move I'll be able to get right on the back of Verne. Can we get him? That Toro Rosso is in the same exact engine as me, so we should have the speed on him. Let's try and make a move. No, we think better of it, as obviously we've got that realistic damage mod on the hardcore setting, so it's going to be very, very important that we don't try and dive down the inside and just dive bomb everywhere like we maybe have done in the past on this game, because it's very easy. Literally, I'm talking a tap above 100 miles per hour and potentially the whole front wing could fall off, so we really need to be careful here. So you could see there we just kind of stuck behind Jean-Eric Verne for a few corners there. Now going to lap 3 down the inside of turn 1. Let's try and get him. We've really got into turn 1 really nicely. We're going to try and get him on the exit of the corner. Here we go on the right hand side, and we've got Jean-Eric Verne. I think for 12th place we're going to move across the left hand side of the track to get back into the racing line into the hairpin style corner, but that was some great traction off turn 1 to get Jean-Eric Verne. Job done, and we're up to 12th place now, moving along quite nicely, you must say. And now onto lap 4, we set the fastest sector time in the first sector, and we're right behind Perez. The tyres are going a little bit cold, actually. You can see by that graphic on the right hand side. The rear tyres going a bit cold, but now we're sticking behind Perez. Hopefully the tyre temps will go up behind his dirty air, the hot air, but that also may be a hindrance as going to that chicane. As you can actually see, I did fall behind Perez in the first part, but now in the second part we're getting back at him. That same great traction we had on the Sauber previously, we've had on Perez, and we've got him, and we've just about also missed and tucked in behind Massa. It could have been potentially quite a nasty thing if we kept on going, and in the past I may have been able to dive bomb down the inside of Massa and take 2 at the same time, but this mod has really got me thinking about how to try and just practice the racecraft and really make sure we're making some clean passes here. So that was a nice move on Perez, very nicely done. Perez actually squeezed me onto the grass a tiny bit there, so that was a bit unfair from him, but at the moment Rosberg staying fast out of the Grand Prix. But as I say that, Massa going very slowly into the first corner. I think he was trying to overtake Bottas, his teammate up ahead, and he just kind of got squeezed out, and then the AI do that thing where they just slow down, so I was able to go down the inside. Unfortunately my AI mod is not able to fix stuff like that. That's sort of kind of fundamental flaw flaws that are within the AI. But the AI actually a lot more competitive at the moment. As you can see on the mini-map, you know, the top 10 are really close together. I mean, the Mercedes are obviously bolted away. You can see on the mini-map those 2 dots up ahead. But then the rest of it, I would say the top 8 after the Mercedes, all very packed together. So definitely the AI a bit more improved with this mod installed. And we're right behind Bottas now, trying to catch him down for 9th place. So we're in the points paying position by lap 5, but I must say by my standards from the previous Ultra Mod series, this has actually been quite a slow start, as we tried to maybe overtake Bottas, but he squeezed me quite fairly, I must say. We weren't really up beside him, but now we are. We're going to try the move, but Bottas again just placing his car very nicely. But going back to my previous point, you know, on F1 2013, I was able to at least get up to maybe 10th place by about lap 2, lap 3 sometimes. So definitely going a bit slower here on F1 2014. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think later on into the race, I'll get some more pace when the fuel starts to come down. But now we're on the back of Bottas still. And up ahead, you could see it looked like Alonso there. I think the Ferrari had a little bit of a problem in Sector 3. So now he's sort of closer to Bottas than he was previously. But now here, DRS on Valtteri Bottas. Can we get him? Up ahead, there's been a huge crash up ahead. And Alonso and Magnussen, I think, have tussled. We haven't overtaken Bottas. We had to concede the position back as I was too busy trying to avoid the action there. Now we're going to try and overtake Bottas with DRS on the left-hand side of the track. And we've overtaken him for 7th place now. But what on earth went on there? We're going to have to look at a replay, I think, just to get a feel for what happened. So I was trying to overtake Bottas, as you can see there on screen. I went to the right-hand side of the track, trying to go down the inside of the first corner. But as you can see up ahead, there you go. A huge contact from Fernando Alonso's Ferrari, and it looked like Kevin Magnussen's McLaren there. So it looks like Alonso just got the braking wrong. Maybe his brake-by-wire wasn't working properly, and he completely smashed into Kevin Magnussen's rear. Another position from the T-cam now of the same bit of action. As you can see there, a lot of parts flying off. I had to be very wary that that front wing didn't hit my front wing, as that could have been nasty. I think Bottas, actually, there if you can see the end plate of Bottas, I think that actually broke off from Alonso's parts flying off. So that's why I had to be very cautious and almost cut the first corner to be very careful, because even debris like that can damage your front wing on the realistic damage mod. But now getting back to the action now on lap 7. Vettel set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We're trying to overtake Jenson Button. We tried to go on the left-hand side of him, but he was having none of it. The wily old fox, Jenson Button, he is getting wise, and he's blocked me off quite nicely there. So now I'm going to have to try something else now to try and get 6th place from him. He's doing quite nicely, unlike his teammate who was crashed off by Alonso, unfortunately. So he's going to be the only points-paying McLaren if he stays in the points at this rate. So now we're on the back of him, still trying to stick with him. We've got some good traction off that right-hander. Now we're really getting on him in the slipstream. We're going to maybe try down the inside. Yes, we are. Just the last minute down the inside. We give him the room, but Button's still there, still side by side. Button still got the run on me. That Mercedes engine's working well for him. But here we go, side by side with Jenson Button. Looking on the left, he's still there, still going side by side through this whole kind of swooping left-hander. And we just about get him around the outside into the chicane. Awesome stuff there. Great little tussle with Button, but ultimately we got into 6th place, and we're doing quite nicely now. So Hulkenberg up ahead in 5th place. We're going to try and catch him now in the Force India. It's going to take a few more laps, but I think we can do it, so let's try our best. Now cutting on to lap 9, 2 laps later, we've closed up in the Hulkenberg. We're in 1 second, because you can see we've got the DRS, so that means we're within 1 second of him. I'm going to try and catch the German now. Let's see. Now, looks like, you know, Hulkenberg in real life, he's known for being very good at defending, known for, you know, being able to place his car and kind of being a bit of a nuisance to top runners. So we're going to have to try and see it. And yet again, Hulkenberg not giving anything up there on that corner. Usually, sometimes in the past, could have been one gone down the inside, but the realistic damage mod really does have you thinking about that sort of stuff. Even for this next corner, have to stick behind him and just kind of brake a bit earlier just to stay with him. But here, we're getting some good traction there in the slipstream. Can we get him now? We're going to move to the right-hand side of the track. There's going to be another move like we did on Jenson Button. Here we go into the fast high-speed chicane. It looks like this time Hulkenberg puts up a bit more of a fight than Button did, but we've just about got it down the inside of that second part of the chicane for 5th place. That was a very awkward overtake. Definitely slowed us both down to that corner, as both of us wanted to give each other room, but good stuff to see there. So up to 5th place now. Now the Iceman is up ahead. Raikkonen, I don't think we're going to be able to catch him before the end of the first stint, so I think we're going to have to make our pit stop before we catch him. But we'll do our best, obviously, to try and close down the gap. Now to lap 17, it's time for our first pit stop for the Prime tyres. You can see the tyres are starting to go off a tad, and now we're actually going to continue on now, because I can see Raikkonen is in the pits as right now, so we're going to try and overtake him and go one more lap, because the tyres aren't too bad. And we've overtaken now, we're up to 3rd place, Raikkonen in the pits. So hopefully we'll sort of get, well, I don't know how to explain, the opposite of an undercut. Hopefully our tyres will still be good enough versus his cold prime tyres. I'm assuming he's on prime tyres. He may be on newer, softer tyres, but they'll still be colder than my worn option tyres. Just there, you can see the rear just went, so probably definitely a good time to pit now on lap 18. Perfect timing, really. So now here we come into the pits. Vettel is in second place, so he's doing a good job, my teammate, and Hamilton in first place. So we come into the pits now, and oh my god, what on earth is going on here? What was that? Okay, so my pit crew have completely fucked me over. Excuse my language, but they've completely screwed me over there. I don't know what went on. That was a very long pit stop. It's almost like they forgot I was coming in, which was weird, because on the game, even if you don't pit on the pits on the lap you didn't set, they're still ready for you for the next lap. So yeah, that was very odd, very, very odd. I'm very confused by that. But nevertheless, we're going to have to push on. We're in 5th place still, so we didn't lose a place. And now on lap 28, we're on the back of Nico Rosberg. We've been pushing hard all this time up to lap 28 to try and catch the Mercedes. Rosberg's been having an issue all race. You can see on the minimap, Hamilton is really far ahead, but Rosberg's down here fighting with me. So I think he's maybe got a problem like he did in real life at Abu Dhabi. Maybe he's got a problem with his ERS. Maybe his brake systems aren't working correctly. You can see the flashing light there, meaning he's harvesting some ERS. Maybe he's having trouble harvesting that ERS because he's here battling with me now on lap 29. We closed him up since the pit stop stages, which was what, some about 10 laps there. So we were pushing hard for 10 laps to close up to him. So now we're going to try and overtake him here with DRS. Should be maybe an easy move on the left-hand side. He squeezes us quite a lot there, Rosberg. Didn't give us much room to breathe, but we've gone around the outside of him, and we've got that place for 4th place. So definitely, I think Rosberg's struggling with something. He's got the soft tyres on as well. So I definitely think he's struggling with some sort of issue. As I said, maybe an ERS issue, maybe a brake issue. I'm not too sure. We can only guess. But now we're up to 4th place now cutting on to lap 35 sometime later in the Grand Prix. Raikkonen in 3rd place, Vettel at this stage 2nd, and Hamilton firmly in 1st place. I think it'll be very hard not to see Hamilton winning the race. Now we're up to 3rd place because I think Raikkonen has pit indeed, so Vettel stayed out with us as well. We've got a 7-second gap to Vettel, so that'll be interesting to see how that gap plays out for the next few laps. So we come to lap 41 here now, coming in for our 2nd and last pit stop onto the soft tyres now. So that's going to be the softer tyre. And I believe Raikkonen was also on the soft tyres for the 2nd stint. So he's going to the slower tyre now. And we're on the softer tyre, the faster tyre. This time my pit crew does not screw up my pit stop. So it's all going our way now. Hamilton in 1st place. I'm in 2nd at the moment. But I have a feeling Vettel is just coming through now, I think. There he is on the minimap, that yellow dot comes through now. So Vettel is up into 3rd. I think Raikkonen may just get us, but it's going to be close. Here he comes. I think he's just about coming. We're looking back at our screen. We actually miss him coming across. So here we go. Some bad camera work from me trying to look back at him. But Raikkonen gets us, so he's up to 3rd place. But he's much closer than he was before the pit stop stages. And obviously we're on the softer tyre, I believe. So we'll have to confirm that. But on to lap 44. Got the DRS on lap 44 on the main pit straight. Here we go through to the first corner now on the Iceman. Can we try and overtake him? Raikkonen having a brilliant race up in 3rd place, unlike his real-life performances. Here we go in the slipstream. DRS down the inside. He is on the prime tyre, so he's on the slower tyre. Go down the inside. Raikkonen gives me the room. He goes a bit wide there. I'm going to try the cutback, but it's not worked at all. The cutback, I tried to do the little switchback, and it just did not work there. Raikkonen having none of it. He had some great traction off that corner. So we'll have to try maybe on these next few corners. Down the inside didn't work for that next corner. We're going to have to stick with him, much like we did on Hulkenberg earlier in the race. And now on lap 45, we're still behind Raikkonen. So he's holding us up a tiny bit here, slowing us down. We can go much faster than we are at the moment. Our previous lap was a 1:26.4. We can definitely go a bit lower than that in terms of lap time. Here we go, trying to overtake him now with DRS. We're going to swoop the right-hand side, do the little dummy and the shimmy. Here we go, down the inside, the hairpin-style corner. Here we go, down the inside. Massa's there as well. And we're going to go round the outside of Raikkonen. He's going to squeeze us, the Iceman. Jesus Christ, Raikkonen squeezing us quite hard. Massa, who's been lapped, is trying to get in the action as well. And we're right up behind Raikkonen. Go down the inside. We've just about made it. No, he's still in front of us. For frick's sake, Raikkonen really putting up a fight there. Great to see, though. He's putting up so much of a fight. Massa right behind us as well. He's been lapped, and he's trying to unlap himself, I think. But right behind Raikkonen, we tried down the inside. We were right up behind him on that right-hander, but he was having none of it. And re-overtook me around the outside. But now, here we go. Can we get him to the chicane? Here we go. He's harvesting ERS. No, we have to stick behind him for this high-speed chicane. Can we get on the exit? Yes, we can. We get a really good exit. Here we go on the right-hand side of him, and we've got him. Blasted past him for 3rd place. But my God, did he put up a fight. Congratulations to Raikkonen. Probably the best AI of the day, putting up a really big fight there for at least a whole lap pretty much there. But now we come home for third place here on lap 58. Lewis Hamilton's won the race. Vettel pumping in the fast lap of the Grand Prix of 1:24.1. I have a feeling we might just beat that fast lap time, but it's been a great race, great action. We're going to come home for third place for this first 100% race, Ultra Mod Career Mode race, round 1. Here we go, third place. Sebastian Vettel gets second. I think we just grabbed faster lap just there at the end, but there we go. One Grand Prix down, one round done, and we got 15 points in the bag. Our teammates got 18. Lewis Hamilton gets 25. Kimi Raikkonen gets 4th place with 12 points there. Rosberg in 5th with those issues. So he's done well to still get 5th place, because I think he was definitely having something wrong to not be up there with Lewis Hamilton. Both Force India's Linus Stern in 6th and 7th. Massa gets 8th, 9th Danny Kvyat, and in 10th Jean-Nic Vergne. That finishes off the points paying positions. But as you can see, from P5 downwards, they all got lapped at least once. So Rosberg in the Mercedes gets lapped once. So he definitely had some sort of issue there. But the top 4 all lap everyone up till P5. So very surprising pace. Really great pace to see. And that's going to be, you know, quite good for the coming season to, you know, to see. Because the AI do have some really good pace. It's going to be a challenge to win races from the back in the Red Bull. So we'll have to see how it goes. But here we go. Here's the Driver Championship. You can see pretty much the same as the race results. Obviously being round 1. So not much to comment there. But that was a fantastic way to start this series. Some awesome action, especially with Raikkonen. I love that action with Raikkonen. If you enjoyed that little part as well, do comment below what was your favourite part of the race. Tell me what you thought of that whole race and the whole episode as a whole. I know I have some new viewers that are new to this series, but I hope I pleased the old ones as well, that you were able to see the good old Ultra Mod Career Mode back on your screens from my channel. I thoroughly enjoyed making that video. I'm looking forward to doing the rest of the season with all the editing and such. But yeah, that has been a great first episode, guys. I've been aarava. Give this video a like if you did enjoy it. We hopefully can smash 1,000 likes if you guys are up for it. So hopefully we can do that. Comment below what you thought. Subscribe if you're new for weekly 100% race videos from this series. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoyed this today. And we'll see you guys next time for Malaysia round 2. But here we go. This has been the Ultra Mod Career Mode.
Where we can dream again. I'll tell you all my secrets. We're encouraged like a second skin. The kids are all dying. We're dying to believe.